Welcome in, Aquarius. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, welcome in, guys. For those of you returning, welcome back. Hope everybody had a great April. So, Aquarius, this is going to be your general love reading, your larger read for the month of May. I will follow up with a mid-month, so if you're interested in, being notified when that comes out, make sure you're a subscriber, hit that notifications bell. As always, guys, general read. I already pulled your oracle cards, Aquarius. This is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Any placement in Aquarius. Hopefully something resonates for you guys today. You are on my left. Your person's on the right here, but feel free to swap sides if it feels like it resonates that way. But as always, guys, general read, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to pull some tarot once we talk about these cards, and then I will also pull some hidden messages from your person at the end of the reading. So let's dive on in here, Aquarius. It definitely looks like May is going to be a challenging month. I'm not going to lie. Cards that came out are pretty big. We'll see if we get some major arcana coming out in your reading, but that's really what I'm picking up on right off the bat. So I feel like for a lot of you, you have been under a lot of stress. So this could be related to, money, your relationships. I just feel like there's a lot going on around you all at once. And I feel like you are feeling in May. I don't feel like that's going to get any better. So I just feel like you're going to be, I don't know if you're putting this pressure on yourself or other people as well around you. I feel like it's kind of a combination of both. As far as your relationship goes with this person, I feel like you really are at a bit of a standstill here with this person. I feel like you're torn here, Aquarius, between doing maybe the right thing and doing the thing that you want to do. So whether or not you're in a full-on relationship, I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like you are in a long-term relationship. This does not give me like, somebody that you just met vibes off of this reading. I feel like for a lot of you, the underlying card here was commitment, marriage, promises, fidelity. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is somebody that you've been in a relationship with for a while. You could be living with this person, you could be married to this person. But I feel like for a lot of you, again, being pushed and pulled in a bunch of different directions, as well as internally. So your spirit animal that came through for the month of May is the Swan card. So as you can see in this card, the swan can see its shadow. So I feel like for the month of May, you're going to be taking a look at a lot of the things that actually make you happy, don't make you happy, things that you know that you need to like cut out, and things that it's just like a lot of internal work. So I feel like for the month of May, you're not going to be feeling maybe as social as you normally are. I feel like there's a part of you that just kind of wants some quiet time, being on your own, just to really process all of these things that are going on around you, especially if you're, under the gun, under a lot of stress. Like you need that quiet time. You need to spend some time doing things that bring you joy, and like, basically say like, F it. I'm gonna go do XYZ because, it makes me feel good, right? Instead of, you know, always bending and people pleasing and doing what everybody else wants you to do. So I feel like, again, at the end of the day here, this come to the edge card, this really talks about the ending of something or getting close to ending a situation. So I feel like for a lot of you, this path that you are on is karmic. So the person that you are with, you do have a, like a karmic contract with them. But I feel like you're either trying to figure out whether or not you can like restore the magic back in this relationship, or whether or not it's really done. So I feel like that's kind of where you're at. And I feel like you're wrestling with those feelings internally about, should I keep trying? Should I keep doing this? Should I keep traveling this road? Is this really making me happy? So I feel like those are a lot of the questions that you're asking yourself about this relationship with this person. Can we find the magic again that we had initially? Maybe when you first got together with this person, or moved in with this person, or married this person. You know, like realistically, I feel like there's a part of you that wants to try and work things through. And then there's another part of you that maybe is realizing like, this really isn't what I want anymore long term. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. People grow apart, right? Especially if you've been in a long-term relationship with somebody for a long time. And really, being honest with yourself, I feel like in the month of May about what direction you really want to move in, what really makes you happy, what really lights you up. Um, and again, that internal struggle, I feel like what is the mutual energy between you and your person is water. So that really talks about emotions, right? Really getting in touch with how you actually feel about this person now. People grow and change. So even if you might, still really have a lot of love for somebody, it doesn't mean that you are still supposed to be together, Um, there's a possibility of parting ways and still have, holding space in your heart for that person, especially if they were, your long-term partner, the parents of, your partner, or like a parent. Obviously you're always going to have that relationship with the person, they're the, mother or father of your kids. So again, I feel like that's really where the struggle is coming in. Your personal needs versus kind of doing the right thing is really what I'm getting. So let's talk about your person here. I feel like this person, you might be dealing with a Virgo. I'm getting strong Virgo off of their cards. This by the book card essentially is Virgo to me. And then as well, we have the grounded card here showing up in their energy, which is earth energy. So it doesn't have to be a Virgo. They could, just have a strong earth placement. But I feel like this person is trying to be realistic. This kind of gives me the energy of this person not being a lot of fun, if I'm being honest here, Aquarius. I feel like, there's a part of you that just kind of like wants to be free and go with the flow. And I feel like this person kind of gives me the energy of like, you just want to go and have a really good time somewhere. And then this person just gets caught up in the details and, ends up ruining the night, right? I don't really know how else to explain it. Hopefully that makes some sense for somebody out there. But this person, they do get stressed and or triggered, I feel, easily. They got the emotions running high for me, as well as luck is on your side. So I feel like, there is going to be a bit of a breakthrough here between you and your person. I feel like with this person, there definitely could be a lucky break. So that could have to do with job, career, money. It doesn't necessarily mean per se relationship wise, but I feel like this person, is really concerned about what other people think. They're coming through as the starfish, and as much as the starfish is, it's not a bad card by any stretch. It's like somebody who, is very, takes in a lot of their environment and not, a little bit too concerned, I feel, about that, especially because this person got by the book and the grounded card. And again, I feel like sometimes this person has a tendency to, you know, not be able to go with the flow. And that could be what this water energy is as well. That, they just kind of like ruin the moment, or like, again, very picky about the details, things have to look a certain way. And if they're not, so this is really talks about outward appearances, outward beauty, and not being, really connected to themselves. So I feel like that has definitely been an issue. Like you might be the type of person here, Aquarius, that are like, I don't give a AF what, the neighbors think or what my parents think about XYZ. This person is not, they're essentially the opposite of that. This person's very concerned about the small details, what people think, outward appearances, how things look, kind of like, I want to say keeping up with the Joneses is really what I want to say. So I feel like that stresses you out, because I feel like you and this person fundamentally, don't see things the same way, I want to say. And I feel like that's probably what has, created a lot of conflict. And they got the conflict card, clashing differences, incompatibility. I feel like this person, sometimes their emotions get the better of them. I feel like this person, you might feel like this person emotionally manipulates you sometimes, just to get their way, or like plays on your emotions to get what it is that they're wanting, or, you know, they're the ones making the decision at the end of the day, even though. So I feel like on some level here, Aquarius, you don't really feel seen or heard by this person. And I hate to say it like that, but I feel like this person wants you to be maybe something that you're not. Maybe you've always kind of like felt like this person feels like they're better than you on some level. Because the bottom of the Moonology was actually show the world the real you. So I feel like this person is concerned more about outward appearances than how things look to other people, how your relationship looks to other people, instead of really going within and like. So I feel like this person has a lot of people pleasing, and again, I feel like this could be dealing with a Virgo. I keep getting that. So I feel like you are kind of wondering whether or not this is really for you anymore. The bottom of the wisdom of the oracle is fork in the road. What direction do you want to go in? You know? Like, I feel like you keep reflecting about the past and, like, do I deserve a new life? And then we have Between Worlds is next. So I feel like month of May, a lot of self-reflection about this commitment, this relationship, and, this incompatibility between you and your person. Can you ever get on the same page again? Can you find the magic again in this relationship? How do you feel about it? Because we have the water card here between you and your person. So let's get some tarot out now. Let's see. How's Aquarius feeling about this person? Actually, let's ask about their person first. How's this person currently feeling about Aquarius in May? What's their general energy spirit towards Aquarius? This person that Aquarius is dealing with in love. How is this person feeling about Aquarius? All right, here we go. What's this person currently feeling about Aquarius in May? True and honest feelings. What's going on with this person? All right, so we have the Five of Cups, Five of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. All right, Three of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Six of Cups. All right. And there we have the Tower on the bottom. So definitely, there's a lot of tension. I feel like a lot of stress between, a lot of conflict, a lot of arguing between the two of you. This person, I feel like, again, like I mentioned here, they are focusing on those three cups and not appreciating what they have. So I feel like you are these two cups here, Aquarius. I feel like this person is constantly, being negative, constantly possibly like making you feel like you're not worthy, constantly feeling like you are not doing a good job, not being a good parent, not being a good provider, not being a good parent, or, a partner. And that is creating like a lot of conflict, because I feel like on some level here, Aquarius, you feel like it doesn't matter what I do for this person, if I give in to them, if I, relent and like not do what I want to do and give in to this person, there is no appreciation for it. Like I feel like you're constantly sacrificing who you are, what you want. Like I feel like you feel like there's no freedom in this relationship with this person. And again, I feel like tried to possibly show up and be nurturing to this person, this Queen of Pentacles, more earth energy, by the way. Again, I feel like you might be dealing with an earth sign, but I feel like, you go on to get along. Like, again, bending what it is that you're really wanting, changing your viewpoint, because that's, it's kind of like always letting that person get their way, because it's just like at the end of the day, it's like, I don't even want to argue about it. Yeah, fine, whatever, like it's really that kind of energy. So I feel like, you know, I feel like the issue here is really, not wanting to see. I feel like this person, again, is not wanting to see who you really are. Like, I feel like this person, again, I feel like you kind of feel like a little bit of imposter syndrome here, Aquarius. Like, they're not seeing the sweet things that you do for them. I feel like, again, and again, I feel like this person is always, ruining the moment, is really what I want to say. And again, I feel like you've tried. See how Aquarius feels. Yeah, I kind of get the energy of like, well, if you, really love me, you would, you would do this or you would do that. Like, it kind of gives me a little bit of tit for tat kind of energy. you know I feel like this person still cares about you, Aquarius. They still have, I feel like this person does get nostalgic when they think about the past and, the things that you and them have accomplished. And I feel like you have accomplished a lot with each other. So I feel like for a lot of you, you have, you've built a nice life, you have great kids, like I feel like there's maybe a certain amount of stability that you've created. You've been a great provider, but again, at the end of the day, is that, can you recapture that magic between the two of you? I feel like is the question. Let's see how you're feeling. How does Aquarius feel about this person? How's Aquarius feeling? Three of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you feel like this person, Aquarius, I feel like, you do care about this person. I just feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of going back and forth, trying to determine whether or not you should really stay. Two of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, juggling. I feel like you're juggling a lot. You are really stressed out here, but it's like, should I really, should I really stay? I keep looking at this guy's face here in the card, and it's like, should I continue staying? Should I, you know, I feel stuck. So I feel stuck in this situation. I feel like, maybe for some of you, you go out and spend time with your friends and be social because you need to kind of like get away from the situation. So I kind of get a little bit of escapism. Some of you, you might need that release to kind of get out of this situation. So I feel like for some of you, you might, try and like numb your feelings, with alcohol or just spending time outside of this relationship. I feel like that social aspect of you, it's almost like a need to like break away. Like I need to, maybe you play sports, maybe you go to the gym, whatever that might be for you, have wings and beers with your friends, like whatever that is. I feel like for a lot of you, that's really like your only escape here from the situation. And again, I feel like for a lot of you, like going back and forth whether or not you should stay or not. Should I protect what I've already built with this person, or should I stay, in this situation with this person? We've built a life here, but am I really happy? I really feel stuck and like stagnated. Am I growing? I feel like, you want to plant this pentacle somewhere. You're like dying to plant this pentacle somewhere. Like, I feel like you just really want to be free from this situation. So I feel like for some of you, that's probably why you know, like if you're never home and you're always on the go and you're like, it's also causing you some stress though, because I feel like you're not really giving yourself much downtime to kind of really process your feelings. So again, avoiding, dealing with this situation with this person, like never being home, right? So you don't have to have that conversation or, and I feel like that's not really helping, to be honest. I understand Aquarius, but again, I don't feel like it's helping the situation. It's kind of like status quo. It's like, are you happy with the status quo? Mm, from your cards, I don't feel like you are, if you're being honest with yourself. Like, are you being fair to yourself here, Aquarius, about what you're really wanting at the end of the day? I feel like you're worried though, like, if you do end up leaving this situation or deciding it's better for you to be on your own, it's going to hurt some people for sure. It's kind of unavoidable. Going to hurt some people. And I feel like you don't want to do that. So I feel like that's could be your struggle here. Like I don't want to hurt, my kids or my my partner, but at the end of the day, I'm not really feeling very fulfilled or very happy. I'm kind of avoiding, spending time at home because I don't really want to deal with this person or this situation anymore. It's just become too overwhelming. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel seen. I don't feel like my opinion matters. I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like, Spirit's kind of encouraging you here to speak up for yourself because we have Judgment and then the Eight of Wands. So I feel like, you need to really express yourself here. If you really want to stay with this person, Aquarius, and you want things to work, I feel like you need to really speak up about the things that are really bothering you. And I feel like that's a lot. I feel like you actually are, really not happy with this situation. But if you don't speak up, I don't know, maybe you've tried and that's been part of the conflict here as well. And this person, is not going to change. I guess that's another question to ask yourself. Is this person going to change? Is this situation going to change? Are they really going to change? You know, I've tried to talk to them about, that they're negative and that they're always starting arguments and that they're like, it's kind of like Debbie Downer. I'm getting Debbie Downer. And I apologize to all the Debbies out there, but, you know, this person has a tendency to like ruin the moment, bring everybody down with their negativity and, again, using emotions to kind of get their way or what they want from you. And I feel like you just feel depleted. I feel like you feel depleted, unhappy, and again, kind of like, maybe overindulging to kind of escape the situation in some way, whether that just be spending time with other people. And I feel like that's just to kind of, rebuild yourself or like, I don't know, get you through another day. Yikes. So I feel like, at the end of the day, I feel like you know where you want to be. And I feel like you need to make that decision here. Let's see if this person's going to take any action. Is this person going to take any action towards Aquarius? in May. What's going to be going on between this person and Aquarius, please? I think we already kind of saw what's going to happen, but the World card, Eight of Swords. Page of Cups. All right, I feel like for some of you, you know, this Page of Cups could be an apology. Can I get another card on the Eight of Swords? Spirit. Nine of Cups. King of Wands. Magician. All right, I feel like for a lot of you, you know, there is going to be some heartbreak, some sadness in May. Could be an apology here with the Page of Cups. This gives me the energy of like, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like I can do this anymore. Or things need to change. So this could be you having a conversation with this person. I'm really not feeling happy. I feel like for a lot of you in the past, again, you know, not feeling trapped, feeling like you can't get what you want or go after what it is that you want. Feeling stuck here, that Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you might be deciding that this is the end of the road here of this relationship with this person. So I feel like, you know, May is going to be pretty huge for you. This also gives me energy of your person, because I think I asked, this is supposed to be their actions. Yeah, I feel like, you know, really at the end of the day, I don't feel like either one of you, Aquarius, are very happy in this situation with each other. So, you know, it looks like to me somebody's deciding to put themselves first. So whether that's you or your person here, you know, to do what you really want to do here. This Nine of Cups. I'm really not happy. You know, I don't want to keep trying to try and, you know, make this turn around or work. You know, I don't know if we can, I don't think we can get the magic back. I think there's too much stuff that's happened between the two of us. So this looks like it's going to be a big relationship month for you, Aquarius. A lot of big decisions about, you know, what direction you want to go in. You know, I feel like spending some time on your own, examining how you really feel about the situation, whether or not you can really, you know, kind of gives me the energy of your reconcilable differences. Can you and this person get back on the same page? Can you, you know, move past what's happened to kind of recapture the magic between the two of you? And I feel like by the end of May, you'll have your answer. I can't answer that for you. It just looks to me like with the World card here that this is the end of a cycle here with a situation or a person. So it looks to me, you know, that you will make some sort of decision whether or not you can restart that magic or that magic is just gone, you know, between you and your person. All right, guys, I'm going to end your reading here. Hopefully it made some sense. If it did, I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to make a comment. If you're interested in a personal read, feel free to reach out to me. It's just sayitsoultarot@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box of this reading. And hang in there, you know, take a step back, spend some time on your own. I feel like that will help, you know, provide you with some clarity about, you know, what you're really wanting here. And, you know, give you the confidence to, you know, either speak your truth, move forward, whatever that might be for you. But we'll check things out in your mid-month. So again, if you'd like to be notified, just make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'd love to see you there. So, all right, guys, so take care of yourselves in the meantime, and I'll see you in your mid-month.